フルカウンター
Alright, so the Mushoku Tensei collaboration may be one of the most controversial anime collabs to come to Grand Cross, which is weird because we've had Stranger Things, which was one worse in terms of the characters and also worse in terms of choice. But at that time, I think most of us were distracted by the Rizzo collaboration, and also at the time, Seaton was obviously uploading, and he definitely made 11 look better than she actually was here. So a lot of people, I think, at that point was misleaded. Where I think right now, people are now, I think, misleaded on how good these characters actually are, but also as well, people don't realize that these characters may not be for you, and that's kind of fine because the way Grand Cross has been going for the last 2 years now, 3 years even, we are building up towards obviously making one mega race, right? You're using either unknowns, you're using full humans. We'll get there. We're using full demons, full obviously goddesses. Most of the time, you're building up towards one main race. And people need to realize that obviously collaborations are mostly unknowns. And this is why this banner, if you are obviously an unknown main, you use mostly unknown characters. I'm assuming at that point, you probably got a kid now because you kind of need her, right? If you like Merlin, you like Gelder, you like Gopher even, like these are the characters and banners you use summon for. This is why I skip Mayel, because Mayel is a goddess buffer. I don't need goddesses. I don't care for goddesses. So I skipped him and saved for a collaboration, and this time around obviously I got lucky that it was 2 unknown characters, and 2 of them actually been very, very good for the unknown team. So yeah, if you don't use the unknown race, don't summon. It's simple as that, right? But we obviously have Rudeus, who is a bit of a tricky one to say if he's a must summon or should you even get 1 copy, because we don't know what's coming. And we do obviously know that we're going to be getting Signature Bond most likely for the actual anniversary. And we also know that obviously KS Alpha most likely will come out at the end of the year. But we don't know what they're going to do. It's very likely they could buff up Sins. I think in particular Alpha is going to be more of a human buffer. It just makes sense towards what the character actually is, of course. And like I said, with Skinny Escanor probably coming up in story mode 2, he could be a human buffer as well. There are a lot of human buffs, I think, coming for the humans later on in the next few months and weeks even, that having Rudeus is going to be probably a big thing to go for. But that's the problem. We don't actually know. We know for a fact that right now, Ghiselaine is going to be a must for the unknown team. Where Rudeus, although I think it's likely, when we don't know we're going to get any human buffs. Remember, we did say years ago now that Assault Mode Medios is going to get broken once he gets more support, and that time never came. We actually ended up getting a new melee that made him irrelevant. But I do think that Rudy having the infect ability is going to make him kind of meta for the human team. So once again, if you like Escanor and you like obviously Chaos Alpha, you like Secret Treasure Barn, then I would recommend at least getting 1 copy. If you want to go down the route of obviously using melee humans in the future, getting 1 copy might be beneficial. But I understand if you don't want to summon because, well, we know what's coming. The anniversary, who like I did say, will likely be Secret Treasure Barn, but it could also not be him. It could be another demon character. So I think if you are going to go towards obviously being a human main, then it's gonna be a bit tricky for this guy, so I can't really recommend it too much. But hey, at least for me, I'm gonna be getting obviously my unknown race built up here with obviously Roxy and Ghiselaine, so I'm gonna get some benefit for pulling obviously Rudeus, who hopefully I get a few dupes for. And then obviously when we get Richard Barn, we get Percival, we get Chaos Alpha, I'm gonna have a pretty nice character to use with them, assuming they buff up humans. So yeah, that is basically it. I mean, I can end the video right now. That's as simple as it is. If you like the unknown race, use the unknown race. Some for obviously Ghiselaine and Roxy. Having 2 characters on 1 banner, despite the rate being lower, it's just so much better because the way Grand Cross is going, the only time we actually get two new characters or more on 1 banner are for collaboration. So the fact that you can get 2 new unknown characters using the team is just so good. Plus the possibility of actually building up a new human meta is also nice as well. It should also be said as well, if you are missing Pug Melee and also Ultimate Escanor, I'd actually recommend skipping, because obviously those 2 characters, one of them are likely going to be returning for the JP anniversary in 1 month, and I think those characters are definitely more important to get at least once over someone like these characters, right? It's kind of a given. But granted, even though if they are on the banner, you may not actually get them, so once again, be wary. Now for the banner, terrible. It's what you expect from collaborations. The only bad thing about collabs, honestly, if they had actually a good banner, it'd actually be more of a must summon. But I mean, you got to remember, right? I mean, people see the filler rate and think, oh, it's really bad. But you got to remember, there are 4 new characters, one of them not being useful because she is free and on PvE. But at least for me, man, I need more Yomaganders. I won't be happy about putting I definitely more Ragnarok Barnes, though. Like, I actually need to get him 6-6. Wouldn't mind getting more, obviously, Elet as well. And Nanashi. Nanashi is my sub-slot for, obviously, unknowns. I have 120 tickets on my global count. I spent 30, I think, recently trying to get 1 copy of him, and I can't get him. So, I need to get 2 dupes, bro. Like, for my unknown race, I need to get him. But yeah, part 1 banners are always really bad, to be fair, because the rate are lower. But if we do get a part 2, for example, let's say a year and a half now, once again, they usually be kind of irrelevant by then. But yeah, that's the bad thing about collab banners. They're not obviously the greatest, but you're giving your take, right? But I would say, obviously, if you like Mushoku Tensei, even if you don't have the unknown race built up, and you just like the characters, and you want to get, obviously, Ghiselaine, just to have her in your box, obviously, for reasons, then you might as well, right? Just get 1 copy, stop even. If you really want to, just spend £20, or how much it ever costs in your actual currency, and get the guarantee, and hope you don't get Eris, because you are guaranteed one of them here, and just get to Rudeus once, just stopping after 1 time, get to them, just to get the effect for humans. It's gonna be nice as well. Get to Ghiselaine if you want to get her for your representative hero, if you want to just use the character, boxy, see whatever, then yeah, you might as well go for it. If you're wondering where the characters stand in terms of CC, actually very good. And that's kind of how the collab characters always are. They always got really good CC here. But as you can tell, Rudeus does have, obviously, what, the 6th highest CC unit in the game? Like, that's so good, bro. Like I said, if we get Secretary of Bond, who's going to have probably the highest CC in the game because he might be the new Grand Festival, or we get Chaos Alpha, they're going to have such high CC. It's going to be nice to actually get him. Roxy, high CC, we'll take it as well. And obviously, Ghiselaine as well is not the highest, but up there as well. So, once again, man, it's just nice to have high CC for these characters if you do get them built up. But obviously, I do realize if you are free to play, and obviously, you can't afford to get these characters 6/6 in 2 weeks, so you can't even get the cosmetics, then at that point, probably not worth it. But like I said, you're mostly summoning if you are obviously an unknown main. And by that point, if you are unknown main, you've been probably saving since obviously Freya. And you've been probably saving for a long time. And you're kind of used to collaboration. So you're probably okay with buying a few cosmetics. I've gone through the characters already on my other videos. But to quickly explain what these characters do. Basically, Rudeus is going to be basically the best way I can describe him is a 2-turn Purgatory melee. Purgatory melee, when he does get attacked 3 times, he gets a 1 mega attack. And he's doing something similar here, where he does do 1 single target DPS skill that is going to do unreal damage through the passive, obviously. But it does take up to 2 turns to build up, which, like I said, right now it's bad because he is the main DPS. He is the main human on the human team. But when we get Secretary of Bond, we get Chaos Alpha, who you can imagine, those characters will be the big DPS characters, the big buff characters. Those will mostly do the work. Rudeus will just be infecting, just to obviously get that effect onto the other team to stop Mael from lifestealing, basically. And after 2 turns, you can do 1 mega DPS skill, which is going to be enough to probably kill someone or finish someone up. So once again, Rudeus, into terms of longevity, I can see it, man. Like, people like the foresight. This guy is going to be really, really good in the future, or at least I hope he can be. But right now, when he's literally the only human and the only DPS on his team, he looks kind of mediocre because he's the only person. Eris is a free character, which I don't know what they're doing with her, but she is basically 50% off a unit. It's kind of bad because, as you can see by the relic here, if Rudeus is on the team, so yeah, even though she is free, you don't get Rudeus for free. So if you actually want to make her work, you do actually have to spend a couple gems to get Rudeus to make her work. But even at that point, what's the point? It's only PvE content and not even the multi battles. So yeah, L character. Once again, maybe hypothetically we get a PvE content in the future where you have to use her, but even then, like, you know, we can't predict that, right? Roxy is a bit of a cool character in a way, right? I think I like how she turns out. And once again, I think she is 1 character away from just being broken. Bear in mind, remember, Summer Merlin, she was kind of okay when she released, but became so meta viable once we got, obviously, Purg Melee and also Ultimate Escanor. And I can see the same thing happening for Roxy. Honestly, if Mael didn't exist for the threat of having a crazy spike debuff skill, she'll be meta. I mean, literally, if you go against any demon team, having Summer Merlin, Gopher, and also this character is going to be insanely broken, man. It's kind of unreal what this character can do. But to quickly explain what she does do, basically puts a shield up every single time, which, to be fair, people downplay the skill. It's a free shield at the start of every turn, and from what I've seen from a couple people with gameplays is it can eat like a Mael card. It can eat a Mael AoE, it can eat any AoE card. It's pretty decent, although it does break, obviously. You don't want it to break because you want to obviously get the attack rate stat buff. It's still a pretty good shield to have and can be quite annoying, and the Pierce card does do actually pretty good damage. You can obviously pair it up with other characters, and the Drain, although it ain't flashy, and the Unknown Race obviously does have the nanoshield removal and the passive. It does actually come in handy, so you can take it. Ultimate's insane though. If you get the 6/6, I haven't seen the 6/6 yet, but I'm curious how much damage you can do. Not against goddesses, but against demons. Like, it's gonna be insane. Definitely, I can see the character being an ult rush character just to quickly get ultimate and ult rush with her because that's kind of how she is. Ghislaine is a character I can't wait to get in game. She is basically what you need for the unknown race if you want to fight against demons. I mean, there's no secret. The unknowns just absolutely destroy the goddesses. Like Philo, Gopher, Echidna, Merlin, like they just absolutely destroyed the actual goddess team. But the one team they did struggle against was obviously the demon team because Park Melee just kind of kills everyone basically. Where now with her, if you do obviously charm or mark the actual Park Melee is going to have a 30% attack rate stat lower, basically negating his actual true magic form. Also a counter stance ability on a tier 1. People forget that. It's on a tier 1 basically. So Chandlers, Sarios, Deange, you find them quite often. So just disable and just go straight for the marked target. It's going to be nice as well. Pierce Guard is pretty good too. Her damage is obviously pretty decent. It's not obviously flashy. You're not going to see male numbers, but you got remember she basically is a tank. You're just taunting the highest CC target, and you can kind of ult rush and do other things with your other characters. And she is there to kind of be a tank, especially with obviously Nanny Sheep buff and what she's doing with the unknown team. She's very, very good, and a pretty good ultimate as well. AoE Power Strike. It's unfortunate her passive or relic doesn't increase her damage from just her skills, because if it was, the ultimate would be even more broken, but unfortunately it isn't. So yeah, that is the actual MUSHOKU Tensei collaboration, the truth basically. Like I said, man, if you are user unknown, summon. I mean, why not, right? I mean, what, Barn coming out in a few months' time, unless the character is good for PvE, you don't really care. But even if you summon right now, you still have enough gems to obviously get Barn by the time he does leave, if it is Barn or the new festival banner coming out. But like I said, man, I am obviously an unknown main. We'll definitely summon here if you are obviously using the unknowns. And I know a few of you are out there. I've seen them in my comments right now too, so you should summon in. And hey, at least if we do get a human meta in the future, then at least you got a Rudeus that you can build up and also move towards this boy. So yeah, like I said, it's okay. If you want to skip, it's fine. The banner may not be for you. If you like MUSHOKU Tensei 2, then definitely it's worth summoning too. People just gotta realize that not every banner is for them, and that's fine. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, good luck if you summon. I'm gonna be summoning tomorrow. Make sure to check it out. We're gonna be hopefully getting Ghislaine 6-6. Hopefully, right? I said that last time, and I got Philo 3-6 after 2k gems. The banners can be quite tough, but yeah, boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.